Blessings, everyone. It's just after 10 o'clock in the morning here in Edinburgh, and it's Wednesday. I'm really checking in this morning. I feel as if, I'm in a completely different time zone today, with regards to myself and what I'm feeling and experiencing. Very deep cellular shifting happening over the past 2 days. Excuse me, playing with my hair. Since the weekend, we've definitely stepped into a deeper space there in terms of our consciousness, and this shift of the ages. It's interesting. So this morning, I just wanted to share about living this holy, holistic life that I live, and how everything is interconnected. Everything changed for me personally in 1995, after I had this huge awakening, and there had been a period, really for a number of years before, that was becoming more and more intense, and I had felt that I was at my limit with regards to the pressure that I was living under, and living in a physical world that didn't feel as if it was supporting me. And I was asking for help at that point. And I started experiencing lots of spiritual experiences, I guess you would call them, where I was feeling much more, in many ways I was more in tune, but I couldn't see that. And the part of me that was living a separate life, which was this crying out for support, and not really able to stabilize my energy. There was a lot going on in the world that I was experiencing, and I was feeling, really working constantly. Everything was focused around money, not able to maintain my home. And this had been going on really since 1988. So I'd been in this energy for, around 7 years. The energy broke in terms of my finances in 1988, and there was this real shift on the planet with the harmonic convergence, and lots of people becoming sick at that time. What they would call sick, it really wasn't the sickness that was being portrayed. It was more of an energetic shift out of this strong, the strong masculine energy, which was it felt aggressive, and it was moving into the flow and a more feminine approach to life. And I lost all my material possessions and a beautiful big home that I was creating a life in with myself and my family, and everything fell apart. And it was really a powerful movement for me in terms of me shifting into a different level. Well, I wasn't able to feel the balance there, and also I lost my own space, which is a biggie, and I'm still experiencing that. I find myself living in other people's spaces, and it's a big issue here in Edinburgh. There's lots, and it probably is in many other countries, but the rental market, from coming from a place that was owned into a rental situation where I was trying to maintain the balance with a good level of accommodation, and being someone that just loves and is passionate about old property, and really feeling the need to open up that loss there, feeling that it would change. So I was living in private rentals with other people's things, other people's energy, of course. And this is really a big thing here in this part of the world. There's lots of movement happening with properties being rented out that have got private landlords, and people are moving in and out of places all the time, and it's really been on the go for a long time. Certainly in my experience, that has been a movement there, as I said, since 1988. And at that point, lots of people were losing their homes and losing their businesses, and there was a real crush on the financial side of life, and people becoming really out of balance and becoming sick at that point, and collapsing, not able to maintain their energy, maintain their physical experience of life. The physical body was being overwhelmed by these energies, so there was a lot of movement there going on, with people really losing their ability to maintain their own power and their own energy. So the rental market has not been a good experience for me. I work from my space. When I say work from my space, I live a very holistic life. So as a healer, being able to share with people, because people find me through my vibration. So I get people visiting me in my home. It's really important for me to maintain a beautiful sacred space, and that sacred energy was being broken into usually by the people that owned the property, where they would just suddenly want me to leave, and it was really out of order. But at the same time, I was trying to understand what I was experiencing on that level. So in 1995, after having this massive awakening, and I found my multidimensional self opening up and literally living in different dimensions, I was able to see and feel this woman inside who was able to transform energy and change other people's lives through my presence. And I had been on a path of really being shown this for a number of years in advance of this, but was not able to really see it for myself, of course, which is what happens. And then, the awakening process, which was very painful, and on a spiritual level, was taking me into different dimensions where there was light coming in and sharing with me and bringing me back into my space on a continual basis as I was really moving out of the body and moving into these other dimensions. The sense of the sacred within me changed at that point, and I was able to feel more deeply into who I was, and also experiencing the guidance that came through, which was really about maintaining my home and maintaining my sacred space on a level where I could keep the energy lifted and share energy with. I had 2 children who were growing, and I was sharing energy with them and meditating, and I was really being fully guided. And I found a new perspective and a new ground inside me where I was able to really assist in both the children's lives and also in the lives of other people that were coming to me and who were drawn towards me. So each time I have moved, there has been a feeling of this movement towards me from the community around me, from the people that are drawn towards my energy, and also this holistic life that is very much generated from inside. What that means is that every aspect of life is continually in balance. And as much as I was feeling, and I continued to feel at the present time, that I'm not physically balanced because I'm going through lots of crystalline processes now, and I'm doing lots of gatekeeping, which was not something that I had chosen, but is just there. And there is a deeper grounding coming in because of this shift in consciousness that we're experiencing. And these massive shifts in energy on the planet that are affecting humanity as a whole, and this loss of life, of course, which is devastating. As part of a human race, we're all interconnected on this this holy order that I experience, where we come into the one. So if there is a loss of life in another country, then I will feel it inside my body. And I know that lots of women are experiencing this and are really coming out about their experiences, and lots of healers imagine, they've always had these healing gifts inside, and they're coming out and they're sharing their gifts. It's really beautiful. And I'm very happy to see that and feel it. So this sister connection coming out, where we're sharing and our vibration is supporting one another on a vibrational level. And so within that, there's a sense of safety and love and this union with the women that are experiencing both change and also who are able to come out and start speaking about their experiences and their own healing journey and the healer inside. So living a holistic life is about being deeply connected and being connected with all of life. As women, we have this connection, deep, deep connection with all that is, which is really our ability to be free from inside and sense into everything that is life, and everything is life. There's the forms of life, the the landscapes, and these places that are holy on the earth, these sacred sites and these sacred spaces, the places that are full of energy. So the mountains, for example, are really part of that holy order, and they are connected in with the elementals and with the nature and the nature spirits, and they are blessed. There's very much a connection there with the goddess in terms of the mountains, and this very strong sense of the purpose of life, that it moves through her knowledge and her ability to create the sacred within the mountain ranges, and her need to recognize that everything that is natural in the world is sacred, that something that emerges from the earth and has so much power is a connection with source, and it's a life form, and it vibrates and breathes as we breathe. So we can connect in with the mountains and really feel this breath of life just as I speak. We don't have to go there. We can just really feel into this experience of being elevated and being lifted through our ability to connect on this level. And the connections that we have with the oceans are very much connected with our fluidity and our own balance. And when the oceans are out of balance and all these movements that are happening, particularly in the Pacific basin, and the tsunamis that have been coming out of there over this long period now, as a woman, we feel these connections with the oceans, and we can feel when something is happening. Very often I feel there is a change happening that is part of me for maybe a few days or a week in advance. I feel the experience in the body. And this is something that we experience through our bodies as women, is our connection with these movements in the earth. And of course, the oceans are very feminine. There is this connection with this deep, deep love there that is part of life. It's the elixir of life. It's our movement of life. It's the birthing process, the ebb and flow of the tides, and this connection with the oceans, which is extremely powerful. So in many ways, as we tune into the oceans, and I've been doing a lot of work with the Pacific Basin over a long period now, and really working with the imbalances there. And I go in and speak to the ocean and to the Pacific Basin and ask for the transformation and this birthing process that's happening through the oceans to settle and to become a place of grace and balance for the earth. And really accepting these connections is a big part of our experience as we're living in this time that we're living in. And I'm talking about time, but time is actually timeless, which is even deeper. Being a holistic and a holy connector with life through our own sacred feminine is very much a part of this deep, deep ancient source and unity and balance there that is the breath of life. It's this sensitivity that we have that comes in from Mother Earth, and this deeply emotional experience that can be within the body as we feel her and her need for balance. It's beautiful, but it's also very sensitive. So as we move through these changes that are happening on the earth and these crystalline cities that I'm witnessing that are appearing and crystalline forms that are coming through from Mother Earth, and these bridges and gateways of light, these massive golden bridges that are opening up, that are connecting us with the different dimensions and these worlds that we are part of, then we are able to experience our lives from a place that is pure. And it's this purity that we're experiencing now. We're purifying from inside, and the body is changing through these processes that we're experiencing. These light codes that we're receiving through the body, and the crystalline bone structure that's opening up inside, where our bones are literally becoming crystalline. And these crystalline forms are also our, in many ways, they're our sensitivity. As the light body is expanding, we're experiencing, excuse me, a deeper sensitivity. There's an awareness there. There's a deeply feeling experience as we're becoming more and more light, where we feel life as a light form, and this connection that I speak of with all that is. So this connection that is very much part of all of life is how we live our own internal and our own our own purifying process. Being able to recognize when the body's going through change inside. Life is lived from this space. And it actually makes life it makes it very much easier because everything is simplified. So if you can imagine that everything that you need is contained within you, and that everything that is recognized is a mirror of that containment, there is less need to grasp and look out with the space inside. There's less neediness, there's less need to, yeah, this is a difficult one. I'm looking at the economy here as I'm talking about this, and this shift in awareness through the economy. And I'm seeing how things are being freed up for us economically. And I'm looking at the products that are on sale in the marketplace and how there is a movement there that is like an offering, an abundant flow of energy that's coming through this system that's in place that is connected with money, and how we need to use money to receive. Well, this is a bridge as well. So money is a bridge between our needs and what we feel that we need to obtain to live the lives that we choose to live. And also for many, their perception is about how to live a healthy life is about spending money. When there is an inner awareness and there's a strength there and this connection with the planet and all that is, because we're interconnected as beings, everything that we need is actually there already, and it's within this grasp that I speak about. So it's all there, contained within this inner space, and therefore the whole concept of spending is just completely out of balance, because we don't need a bridge to receive what we need. We need to understand that we're already that we already are receiving what we need. So it takes time and back to time again, but it takes the courage and also this work on ourselves to really let go of this perception that we don't have what we need. Because this is something that has been conditioned into us, and we do have everything we need. When we work on our energy and we're aware that we're energy beings, then everything is fully open. And we also are I'm just writing a message here. Hi, Omen Taro, thank you. Yeah, everything is a blessing. So we have this sense of a foundation that is based on these blessings of deep unity. And the joy of life is about our interconnection with all that is. That we live inside each other already, that we are each other, that you and I, as we share, are already experiencing this unity, and we're sharing this together, and that's this feeling of knowing one another. Everything is blessed, and this is the experience that is coming through the feminine at the present time, and the message that's being given, is really about the blessings that we share and this fullness of life, where there is nothing lacking, that everything is already received. And the more that we give, the more that we receive, there is a balance there within this holistic and this holy union with Source, and this continual circle of life where everything unites and we live within the one and this one source of life. It's very beautiful. Before I finish, the sensitivity that I experience on a personal level is so beautiful. And it's also extremely wise. My experience of awakening was about understanding the knowledge that was being given to me, where everything in life and everything in spirit exists in this present moment. There is no death. There is no life after death. Everything is already here in this moment. And this wisdom and knowledge that came through was this deep, deep connection with the consciousness and the availability of information from a space that is unified. So the light and this deep awareness became a part of me at a cellular level. It makes life very interesting because everyone that I connect with, I tend to see the layers of the person, or I can see who they truly are. It's a very beautiful space because I feel the love that connects us also through the heart, and this unity that is very much a part of the truth of who we truly are. And this space of learning and knowledge that is based on truth is so simple and so easy that my wish is for everyone to experience this. There is no need for anything to be I'm trying to get the right words for this. We don't need to learn from outside. We can learn about ourselves, that everything is there contained within. And therefore, there is no need to recognize anything other than ourselves. It's difficult to put into words. When I was going through my awakening in 1995, I love books, and I love old books particularly, and I always have. I just love the smell of books, and I love the energy of books. And very old books have got so much energy in them, and there's this feeling of connection there. And I found that by opening a book and a text, that I was able to read the book literally by just opening the page, and it was like, oh, and I got what I needed from it. So it took on a whole different experience. I'm laughing about it because it's quite amusing. So, and then I found that I had books coming to me about spiritual awakening and about many, many different connections with spirit that had been written and that were fascinating. And they would come to me literally if I went into a bookstore, the book would fall at my feet, or sometimes there would just be this really strong energy which was it would speak to me, and it would be like, wow, there's this book vibrating on this shelf saying, okay, have a look at me. And I'd open it, and I particularly love, I'm a very visual person, so I love paintings and visual images and anything that's got beauty in it. So I'd open up a book, and the book would be speaking to me, and I guess I understood that I didn't need to read the text anymore, that I could enjoy a book just by its presence. So that changed for me in a big way. It's also part of the higher consciousness that we're embodying, and this presence of the higher self that I'm sure many are experiencing, where we don't need to know anything, because the higher self takes care of everything. And so our interest in things that we may have been very connected with can disappear and dissolve. And so anyway, my message, excuse me, my message for today, I'm just going to finish with a short meditation. So if you would like to connect inside, we're just connecting in with the source of life, this depth of knowing, and the fullness of life, the beauty of the infinite source, and the breath of life. So we can feel ourselves become the breath, where the breath is breathing us. It's taking care of life. And just allow this breath to lift our vibration into the light of who we truly are. This wisdom and knowledge, the ancient source of life. and the blessing of who we truly are. Namaste. Beautiful to connect. And thank you, Oman Taro. Lovely to feel your energy. Have a beautiful day. And may the sun shine on you. Namaste.